More news from the Trump administration yesterday. It has now revoked Harvard University's ability to enroll international students, the latest escalation in its battle against that Ivy League school. The Department of Justice announced in a letter yesterday that it is pulling the school's exchange visitor program certification, saying Harvard's created an unsafe campus environment that is, quote, hostile to Jewish students, promotes pro-Hamas sympathies, and employs racist diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. The DOJ also accused the university of coordinating with the Chinese Communist Party. Harvard called the action unlawful and says it's working to provide guidance and support to students and the community. The university has nearly 7,000 international students, which make up about 27% of the entire student body. Meanwhile, just a few moments ago, the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, a big elite school there, shared an open invitation to international undergraduate and postgraduate students currently enrolled at Harvard, inviting them to continue their academic career at their school over in Hong Kong. The university says it will prioritize expedited admissions, credit transfers, and tailored support, including visa assistance and housing to ensure a smooth transition. And Gene Robinson, there are a number of beats we need to cover on this. First of all, this is unprecedented that the federal government would step in a private university like this and tell them who they cannot admit. But so speak on that, please. But also, you know, this is going to be furtherance of a brain drain we are seeing here in the United States. We've already seen these research grants be cut, earlier in the administration. And now international students, if they can't practice their craft here, if they can't learn here and then potentially go on to careers here, other universities around the world, other countries will be happy to have them and will be poorer for it.
Yeah, just in order, Jonathan. First of all, Harvard says this is unlawful. It seems to me to be yet another, bill of attainder, which is prohibited by the Constitution. You can't go after an individual like that with an official action, and so I'm sure they'll go to court. And we should keep in mind that Harvard has a $53 billion endowment. It has the money to fight this fight and to hold out potentially, I guess, for the 4 years of the Trump administration if it has to. But anybody who's not worried about the brain drain really ought to be, because there's not only this. We're not only driving away these brilliant students who, yes, contribute a lot to Harvard's bottom line, but they have to be the smartest of the smart from around the world to get in. And they come here and they make huge investments of their brain power in new technologies, in new medicine, in all the stuff in which the United States is a leader. Our system of higher education is or has been the envy of the world, and that is being simply ruined. If you're a brilliant student in India or in Belgium or anywhere, and you were thinking about, boy, they have just the program I want at Harvard. What are you going to do now? You can't come to Harvard right now, and you're going to look elsewhere. This on top of the cuts in research funds that are driving scientists, not just foreign-born scientists, but U.S. scientists abroad, where they are being welcomed by other great universities around the world. This is a serious brain drain, and it really will have serious implications in the years to come.
It's the warning that we were hearing consistently after all of those DOGE cuts at NIH and CDC and other places. And it makes sense, of course, in the way that it trickles to educational institutions.
Well, exactly. And there are schools just saying, OK, we'll fund your lab. If the school in Europe is basically saying, come on over here. You can have your lab. You can have money. That's what they're going to do.
That's what they're going to do. But, Matt, it strikes me, and I think we all know this, Trump always needs a foil. It strikes me that he might be trying to make Harvard one of them, given the fact that he doesn't have an obvious Democratic rival right now. Is that what this feels like to you? What's behind this assault on higher education from the administration? And if we're applying litmus tests of is this conservative, is this not, in the way that we were talking about the reconciliation bill, what do you make of this piece, the way that the administration is going after Ivy League schools like Harvard?
Right. Well, I would say long before Trump, there was a sense amongst conservatives that the commanding heights of culture were dominated by liberals, progressives, and by the left, and that culture is more important than politics. And therefore, if the left is driving academia, if the left is driving Hollywood, the movies we watch, the music we listen to, the things our children, young people are taught, then eventually this long march, they win, right? Because that's how you take over. You take over the culture first, and then eventually you have the elites, everybody else falls into play. That's sort of what mainstream conservatives have long feared. I think with Donald Trump, there's an added aspect to it, which is he likes to pick his enemies. And what he wants to do is pick people that are unpopular in the populist sense. And so going after immigrants are easy marks for Donald Trump. Going after the pointy heads, academia on college campuses. There's not a lot of defenders for these people. If you go to the average person at a diner, they're not too worried about some foreign student at Harvard, right? I mean, it's almost like a tailor-made to demagogue them and to villainize them. But of course, as everyone has pointed out, one of America's big secret weapons actually is the fact that we are a magnet for brilliant people to come here and to give us ideas, discoveries, inventions. And what we are seeing is that is coming to an end. And I think that it's not going to happen overnight, but there will be very serious long-term implications when it does happen.
No question there. And also, one wonders if this is going to stop with Harvard.